What is going on, you guys? Long time no see. Happy New Year. So, I'm messing around with my whatever this thing is, this can monitor. We know it's just this half-assed piece of software. Hopefully I've improved it slightly or somewhat. One of the things I did is there's a couple of people who have asked me about, about the actual USB output, right? Which is what I have hooked up here. And so what do I got here? I got over here. I got a Raspberry Pi. If you want to do this stuff, you really need to get, I think, a Raspberry Pi or something. And I mean, you don't really need much more knowledge than like what you would to fix a car to wire it up to something. It really is not much different than any kind of wiring you're going to find in a car these days. You know, wiring involving computers or, not like heavy-duty power lines. Anyway, what I got over here is I have Linux, and Linux has installable, all kinds of installable utilities, and one of them is called CanUtils, right? CanUtilities or something like that. I don't know. You look it up, you can find it. And one of the functions is this CanGen. So what I have here is I cleared the screen, I ran this command line, and this is generating a random addressed every 100 milliseconds or every 10 times a second. That's what the G for how long the time is. CAN 0 is just the CAN port on Linux. This is a Linux basic. It's Raspberry and some kind of specific version of Linux. But it's definitely this is definitely Linux command line stuff. Okay, so I got a random generator over here, so this is a lot easier than going and sitting in the car and messing around. And I'm so stupid that I haven't done this, and this is why I'm recommending to you guys that you really should get yourself a Raspberry Pi. Now, of course, one of the things that's going on here, I'm going to try to move everything. I hope I don't destroy everything. Is this can is actually, this is just a monitor, right? So my actual Raspberry Pi is that little black box, and then there's a couple wires running to what's that, 25 C2515 or something. You guys know what it is. You guys who are in deep, you know what that is. That's the SPI one. That's a very strong version. Anyway, so I got a Raspberry Pi running with that, and then basically this is the monitor out here, right? This monitor has a Raspberry Pi in it, but it's asleep right now. It's not even. Okay, all right. So you got that, right? All right. So the cool thing is that, and this is available right now, available on the link below. And I'm curious, a couple of you guys, and I'm going to add it to my other. That other app, I should just make that app open source and just call it a day on that thing, man, because anyway. So here we go. You can see it's receiving this data, but I just want to go through a little bit about how this header and mask deal work. Okay, so let me stop the monitor. No, but before I stop it, I already did. Okay, no. Go ahead, continue. So what you see is these are all various lengths. So this is not any particular protocol. This actually, on the Linux box, is running at 250 kilobit. And it's kind of just a raw CAN network running out of this box. So it'll talk to whatever quote-unquote protocol. Because remember, a protocol is just rules about how to talk. It's not necessarily rules about the level, the electrical level of CAN. All right, so we're getting all of these variable lengths, and let's just freeze it. Let's just stop it. Okay, now you see like these. Remember, these are meaningless random messages generated from here. They're still being generated. It's just that I stopped listening to them. But like, for example, here's one. The address is 122. Oh, this is 11-bit, by the way. 11-bit 250. The address is 122. There's 1 byte. And the byte is 25. Here, the address is 163. There's 2 bytes, and first byte is FO, and the second byte is O3, and so on and so forth. For example, up here, the address is 238. There's 8 bytes, and that's the first, second, third, fourth. I'm not. Okay, you're gonna have to count that and then say in the comments if that didn't work out right. But yeah, notice I go for the low hanging fruit, the easy ones. This is address 7B1. Anyway, so okay, so go ahead and listen. But the thing is, right in the car, it's going to be even more than this, and it might even say, here, let's really try to overflow this. Like, let's try to overload this thing, right? All right. So what I'm doing is I'm reaching over to, and I'm stopping that, right? So this activity has been halted, not because I hit stop, but because I actually halted it here, right? So let's go, and instead of every 100 milliseconds, let's go for every, 1 millisecond, which is, what is this, 1,000 times a second now? Every 1 millisecond. So this is going to try to generate these things 1,000 times a second. That's not going to hold up, right? All right, so let's go ahead and say do that. Okay, right away, it's like buffer full. Right? Did you see that? So let me stop this. Let me start again. And this is more, all right, so init it's always a good idea to init. If you never leave the page, you don't have to constantly init, but init will take into account these masks, and we'll go over that in a second. But so I go ahead and listen, and this should be, buffer full very quickly. So here's the deal, right? So this is what you're really going to see in a car. You're going to it's going to say, listen, and it's going to stop right away. So you got to have some process of filtering out the data. So let's just say, all right, let's say 5A. I'm just randomly, right? 5A7 is this random address. So let's say now 5A7, I don't know how often that's going to come up because there's thousands of addresses. So let's just say we're interested in any address that starts with 5A, right? That's fair, right? So let's say 5A, and then actually it doesn't matter what we put in as the third digit because we don't care. Here is where the don't care or care digits, right? So for the first two, we absolutely care. So you put in an F on this side. Whoops. I don't know if that 0 matters, but for the F for the first 5 means only 5. The F for the A means only A. The 0 means it doesn't matter. Who cares? 0 means anything in this third digit. So the mask is determining sort of the range or the filtering on this. This is this is really difficult to sort of intuitively get. But basically, on this side, if you wanted just to see everything, this would be all zeros. We want to filter it, and you're going to either put a 0 or an F. You can do differently. You can actually put hex digits, but stick with 0 and F. It's an all or nothing deal, right? FF means the first digit, and the second. FFO means we want the first exact digit, the second exact digit. Forgive me, man, if you guys got this already. The first digit, the second digit, and we don't care about the third digit. So let's go ahead and init on this setting, and then listen and see what happens. Oh, look at that. Okay, so see now it's continually going and we're not getting any buffer overflows, right? So this thing is actually, that's interesting. The ELM327 itself is filtering, right? Because we're not like busting through the data like it's coming through here. It's just turning on and sending us the relevant addresses. And look at that 5A. Okay, so let's see if this holds true. Now let's just say let's go totally the opposite. Actually, I didn't have to do anything. I could just put whatever I want here. So let's say I just want to get everything where the last digit is 2. So I'm going to flip this, right? So the first digit, I don't care, so I'm going to put a 0. The second digit, I don't care, I'm going to put a 0. The 2 is I care about, so I'm going to put an F there. I want an F where the 2 is because that's all I care about. So let me init on that, and then let's see what we get. Listen. A lot more. Are they all 2s? Looks like they are, right? Okay, now we got a lot more data coming out on the 2. Now, this is kind of situation you might get on a car. You got to you can play games. There's only, I know there's thousands of addresses, but remember, this 5 over here is the significant digit. So you can only go from 0 to, in an 11-bit system, you can only go 0 to 7, actually. So you can say, like, for example, you can say, I just want, you can you could say I want to go from address 1 anything, 2 anything, you know, up to 7 anything, because okay, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. It barely makes sense to me. So let's say, because there's thousands of addresses, right? The number on the left side, hex or regular numbers, these are hex numbers, but the number all the way on the left side is the most significant digits, like, right? Like if it was 100, it would be 100, 200. So if you change from a 1 to a 5 on your paycheck, that's a huge, you know, with a couple digits to the right, that's a huge, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you go through the large digits first, you can sort of find an area where there's activity. Right, so let's say I just, and actually the lower numbers, I think I have higher activities in cars, like more engine-based activities. So let's say I just want to see all the activity where the address starts with 1, right? So I'm going to put an F00. The F corresponds to the first digit here. And it doesn't matter how many, if you're doing a 29-bit digit, 29-bit value, this is going to be like 8. This is 3 right here, but it's going to be like 8-bit. 8 digits long, hexadecimal, A, B, C, you know. But we're doing 11-bit, which is 3. 11-bit, 3 nibbles is 12 bits. So this is why this is 11 bits, because this is a byte and a half. Oh, boy. Anyway, I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, I think that's right. Anyway, so we're looking for all addresses that start with 1 here, right? So I'm going to init on this masking and then listen. Okay, so that's going nuts. And I'm like, okay, well, I know that it's 1, but I also want everything that starts with address. I don't know. I'm throwing this out there. C. You know, come on. 1, C, and then, of course, I don't care about the 2. So I'm going to put an F where the C is. So now everything with a 1 and a C. I think you guys are starting to get it if you've started from the beginning here. Okay, so now all that we're getting is 1C. So this is a way of filtering out and sort of, you know, getting around that buffer issue. You know, the buffer full, which the buffer full is just saying, it's like, hey, dude, man, I don't care. Give me everything. Give me everything you got. This is how you say. And now, right, if I put 3 zeros in here, it doesn't matter what's in here, because now it just means every digit is just anything. So, of course, you know what happens if I just do that, right? It's just going to buffer full. It got some traffic, right? So I think this works. I think this is going to work for you. Oh, the other thing is, like, right, when you have a USB connection, I forgot about that too. I changed this now. All right, edit, open that. So now, you know, the USB's got these weird names. Oh, I don't even have my Bluetooth enabled, right? So the only thing it was going to see there. So, yeah. You don't have to pick. You don't ever have to select the Bluetooth from that menu, by the way. So let me see, will we see our Bluetooth? Yeah, so our Bluetooth stuff is in there, and here's our USB thing, right? So I'm selecting the USB thing. Oh, with the USBs, is really critical. With the USBs, you got to select the right, if I select the wrong, here, look, right? If I select the wrong baud rate, this drove me mad, because it's not true for the USB, even though you can sort of set that baud rate through the ELM327 through Bluetooth. It still doesn't matter, but the USB, absolutely Bluetooth, at least in my application, matters. So I just set it to something it shouldn't be, right? It needs to be 38.4. So I just set it to the wrong thing, and then this is the behavior you'll get when it's wrong. When the will it even? I don't even think will it even light up? Okay, so this thing isn't even. Sometimes the light will go bloop. You know, you see the light go bloop, and that's about it, but it isn't even, it ain't doing nothing now, so that's kind of important for this USB connection, for the USB connection, that you get the 38.4. This is a CH340, by the way, based chip. There's a couple chips out there. I support this one. I tried to do the prolific one, and I tried to do the CP21 something. I don't know. I haven't tested them, so you guys have to let me know how that goes. Definitely let me know if you tried a USB and it did not work. I'd definitely appreciate knowing. All right, so this is 38.4. So now I fully expect this stuff to work again. So I come back here. Let me init. Okay, so this is alive. If this sort of responds, like, see how it's like, It blinks a couple times, and it's usually in good okay, so we're stuck. So let's say I just review real quick. I just want to see everything that starts with a 6-1. Oh, hey, how about this? Let's try this. Let's say I want to look for a specific address, right? Let's look for the devil's address, 666, right? 666. Oops. Let me back up a little bit there, getting a little crazy. I don't know. We're sending out a lot, every 1,000 a second, so there's a chance we might get 666. So let's init on that, and let's see if we get. Whoa, that's not right. Oh, because we don't care, right? Okay, so I screwed that up. So if you want 666, I got to go FFF. Thank you for you guys. I didn't hear you when you were telling me. FFF, because that means exactly for each digit what it is over here. So let me see, init on that. And then let's listen and see. Somebody out there, come on, don't fall asleep on me. I think it's still running. Oh, look. We got some 6. Where's my random? Come on, turn back on, baby. All right. That's pretty funny, right? So we definitely got some 666 stuff happening there. That's nuts, man. Now another way. See, now this I made a shortcut, right? If you know exactly the address, just unclick use mask and put the exact address you're looking for, right? So let's take a chance on another 1, 2, 3. That should be as easy as 666, right? So let's init on that. So now we're just toning in. Now we spend enough time. We found the address. Now we can just say, forget all this mask stuff. Say we're looking at this address, and say, did I init on that address? I don't know. Did I? Oh, I did. Okay. So now it's listening, and it will just give us everything with 1, 2, 3 in it. Wow, that's pretty. Well, I guess 1,000 per second. After a couple seconds, you're gonna get that, right? So that's what see the value of this Linux thing. This Linux terminal here is damn. I just can't say. And of course, you have this CAN connector to it. That's one of the best ways. Now, there's also just to throw this out at you. I'm going to stop. Right, that's stopped. I'm going to stop. And now what I'm going to do is there's this other utility called can. It's, I can't remember to spell everything. So where are we looking here? We are looking for, what is, I can't even remember. What is it? Candump. Did we see that? I'm having a brain thing. Candump. Did we see candump? Is that what it is? Candump? No. Sorry guys. I am having a mental issue here. Candump, or something like that. There it is, right? Did you guys see it? Candump, can0, right? So what this is doing is this now is it should be showing us stuff we're sending out there. So let me come over to the command side and initialize on the command, and let me send. Yeah, see. So it also, this is the sniffer part. Right? Actually, there's actually a cansniffer. I think, let me see. I'm going to take a chance. Cansniffer? I mean, that's ridiculous if it's actually named that. I think it is, though. Can0. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, right? So now if I just send. Right? Now what will happen is after some time they'll go away. Yeah, see that? That's what the sniffer does. It'll give you the most recent stuff, right? Let me send in a bunch of stuff. Oh, it's the same data. So it won't even repeat the same data you're sending. See what I'm saying? Let me send jeez. Okay, so let me do this. Come on, let me out of here. Let me out of here. Alright, come on. Sometimes there's. why am I having this problem? What is the matter with me? Get off of here. Damn. It's like this thing doesn't really, it's, I'm trying to keep my finger off it and stuff because, get all the, I opened the wrong application. You guys have so much patience with me. Thank you very much. I guess maybe you're just hanging out, chilling out, right? Like, come on, get out of here. Get out of here. So what I'm trying to show you is, okay, this is what I'm trying to open. I also have updated my other software to work through the USB as well. So let me see if I can just get the vehicle status to show up on the device is not connected. Right, so that's like the other. Come on. So come in here. I select my USB device. My baud rate is correct. I say done. I say back. Let me see vehicle status. Okay, I'm asking for permissions. Yes, you have permission. Go ahead, click it again. With all the paperwork and the requests. Okay, there it is, right? So I have a simulator hooked up. I bought some crappy simulator from eBay. Right, so you see what's happening. So if I go to DTC, and this is how I can determine like what's going on. Sometimes like when I got those bidirectional commands, you would see it up on the, because repeated stuff, I know I can't finish sentences. You would see it up here on the screen because the repeated stuff is not repeated. Let me see if I never looked at this actually on the cansniffer, where we come into the, PIDs and it lists all the PIDs. It's reading the PIDs. These are fake PIDs, by the way. Right. So let's go here. Engine RPM. What the hell? Just 2. Right. So now this is what you could do if you wanted to sniff my app and see what was going on here. You can see what's getting sent. And I'll tell you what, I'd have to look at this for a while. I mean, I guess I wrote this application, right? I'd have to look at this for a while to figure out what am I exactly seeing here. But when when you're trying to key in, when you're right down there to the actual, look, we can see the addresses, we can see the data, right? And I believe we can pause or whatever, or, But it's typically like, look, this is live data. So what this is doing is this is constantly a request cycle. So like, for example, if I had another scan tool and I wanted to crash it, or not crash it, but sniff it, what I would do is I can just set this to just one of these, narrow it down, and now I'm going to see the command that's being used here, right? See how the command doesn't change much because I narrowed it down? But if I come in here and I select like engine RPM, intake manifold, I don't know, all this stuff, and then say start. Now the commands are all over the place, right? So that's the thing is when you're looking at the commands, you got to sort of, do I have chaos going on? I mean, not chaos, but am I getting like a multi? Am I getting like the rainbow? Am I getting LGBTQ plus whatever of data, or am I just getting one? Am I just getting one piece of data, right? So that's sort of when you're correlating it up there. And so that's cool, right? So the USB thing is cool. I don't know, what else? What else do I have to discuss today? I don't think I really have much to do today aside from this. I just wanted to let you guys know, a couple of you, it's really for the special couple of you who are using USB adapters. I suspect one or two, if you try it, you may not work. Let me know right away. And, I really appreciate you letting me know if it works or if it doesn't work. In any case, it's something I wanted to get to. So I'll get to, what am I going to get to? I don't know what I'm going to get to in terms of like this, so. Okay, so here it is. You got this thing here, and I think I yell. I yell. I actually don't yell. I say I yell, but I really don't yell. Even when I'm really, really mad, I don't yell. But when I talk to my girlfriend about stuff, she gets like kind of like, "Oh my God!" So I think I need to start making some more rant videos. So like, I need to say, "Oh, I'm not mad at you. I'm just like, because I'll go off about some, political thing or something, or some stupid, silly thing. But so I may need to make some ranting videos that you guys might have to ignore or something, you know, because my poor girlfriend, she's dying listening to my stupid stuff. Anyway, so what do we got here? We have this can application is now available to you guys right now. You know, that link down there. I'm just coming in here like just because it isn't fully tested, right? It's so new. Okay, so this is still selected. You know, when you unplug and plug in USB, it changes sometimes, right? So I keep saying edit and done. I say back. Oh, here's the one last thing I forgot to mention, right? So there's two basic pages, right? I mean, aside from the settings or whatever, there's this monitor page and then there's this command page. Now, the other thing is, in the settings, I got rid of the auto protocol. The auto protocol was screwing up the monitor, right? What was happening is you can't use auto protocol with this application, I found, or I'm too lazy or stupid to make it work or something, because, yeah, that's probably the answer. I have to face it. But like, you're gonna have to select your protocol, and if you don't, it'll be defaulted to this J1850, which is not gonna really fit hardly anybody. If you got an old car though, like an early pre-2000, but I don't know. Anyway, so my point. What's my point? I know it's belabored. If I initialize here, right? Let me do this. I'm gonna stop this. This sniffer thing, right? And I am going to go back to my generator app. Okay. Let's since we're not racing time and everything, I'm just going to make this back to like 100. Yeah, that's I think my app can handle that. Or the ELM327 can. I think somebody can handle that. Are you going? Is this going? What's happening here? Okay, so... Uh-oh. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay, let me try this again. Oh, that's what it is. I don't have the C back there. I don't know what happens with that. Okay, so let me try that. There we go. Okay, so now if I come over here into my monitor and I init... I want to hear everything, so I'm just going to go 0, 0, 0, because I slowed it down, right? So I'm hoping that 100 milliseconds is enough where it won't do a buffer overflow, listening to everything. This doesn't matter because there's a 0 for every digit over here, which means it doesn't matter. If there was an F here, it would mean get the exact digit you see. Okay, so I say init. I think I already did. Say listen. So now it's just whatever. Okay, but it's not getting a buffer overflow because I got the data coming in slow. What was my point? Oh, okay. So you see it's coming out properly. We're not getting any errors or weird stuff here in this particular case. And I believe we're running at 500 here. Okay, so let me stop. And now I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to say a command. I'm going to, let me see, 70F, whatever, 70F 03, which I think is just generally asking for, oh, no, not the address, 73, and then I'm going to ask for an 03, which I think is just generic, right? A generic, give me your DTC's command. Okay, fine, whatever. And the thing is, when I initialized here, the initialization for sending the commands in this mode is different. The mode for is actually what's different is the monitor mode is different. So now if I don't hit init and I just say listen, okay, that actually looks okay. That actually looks okay. Sometimes, oh, if I initialize, did I initialize before? Do you guys remember if I initialize? Yeah, see, yeah, I didn't initialize. See, now if I initialize, see, that's like, you got to initialize, and it's going to take into account the settings you set in the setup. But it'll work. It'll do everything it's supposed to do over here. And now if I just, without initializing, go ahead and do something, now look at all the errors and stuff I'm getting. And I know that you guys, some of you guys were seeing this behavior, and so was I, and I didn't even know why, which is pathetic, because then why, and I'm sorry for, like, giving you garbage, man. I really am sorry for that. Anyway, so how do you fix this, at least to some extent, is to hit initialize on the can monitor, whatever your mask is or whatever, and then say listen. And see how that cooled that out? You know. So just a thing before you do something in here. Now I can listen and stop and nothing's going to change because I haven't reconfigured anything, right? Unless I change something up here, then I'm going to want to reinitialize. I stopped disabling buttons because, like, what I would do is I would disable the listen button only if you hit init, but there's cases where sometimes you don't want to hit init, and so the buttons are just open. So you can listen without initializing, but you can see what happens if you do that. And the only way you can mess it up is if you come in here and initialize it in this page and then come over here and then just try to listen, right? See how screwball it is? Or I think if you, to a lesser extent, if you initialize here and then come over here, I don't think you're going to have as much of a problem if you say send. But the behavior is different. See, now after I initialize, you'll see different behavior. And I think it's going to return a bunch of crap because it was... I'm not exactly sure why I got a bunch of crap like that, but anyway. So, but the initialization matters. And that was something I forgot to tell you. I think that's it, though. I think that's the end of my story for the day. Wow, I was thinking a long time, probably. I don't know how long. So I always have a good time talking to you guys. All right, you know, it's what it is, right? So, Happy New Year, 2024, and all that stuff, and hopefully everything's going to be cool, and, you know, so that's about it for me for now. So enjoy and have a great day. Thanks a lot.